I'm Deanna Williams, a proud board member of the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville, Tennessee. Today, we honor and celebrate women in harmony. And our keynote speaker is such an individual. She is a daughter, a family member, a mother, a wife, a friend, and a valued member of our community. Additionally, she is an author and a motivational speaker, and today we get to benefit from some of her wisdom. Let's welcome Sherry Riley with Exponential Living.
When did your love affair with music begin? When did your love affair with music begin? See, my love affair with music, I don't remember a time that I did not have a love affair with music. I can remember back when I was, probably 6, 7 years old, and I would literally take my bath towel and put it on my hair, and then I'd grab my mom's bobby pins and put it in to make sure that the towel stayed. Come on, I know some of y'all used to do that too, right? And you put the bobby pins in because you had your towel on your head, because that was your hair. And then I'd take my hairbrush and turn it around because that was my microphone, right? And then I'd put on my Natalie Cole album and I would sing with Natalie, "This will be an everlasting love, this will be." And then I'd switch it up and put on my Chaka Khan. "I'm every woman, it's all in me." Okay, I know I sound awful. I sounded awful then too, because I can't sing. But it was never about the sound that came out of me. It was about that sound that came from those artists. It was about the lyrics that just resonated in my soul. It was the combination of the lyrics and the music and the sound that just spoke to me. When did your love affair with music begin? I remember when I was, 9 or 10, and I started my own radio program. Yeah. And I had one of those cassette players, the ones that was about this long, the ones you push play and then you push fast forward, and you had the 2 buttons when you wanted to record, right? I know I'm dating myself, but yes. And I would take my cassette player, and I was the DJ, I was the producer, I was the artist. So the DJ would introduce the artist, and I would sing the songs, and every now and then I'd have an interview. My parents. So I'd interview my parents, and I was also the commercial, right? And I would do the commercial. When did your love affair with music begin? And I remember the declaration when I was about 14 or 15. I'm gonna work in the music industry, and I'm gonna live in Atlanta. That was my dream. But let me put a little context around that for you. When I was saying that I was gonna live in Atlanta, I had never been. And when I was saying that I was gonna work in the music industry in Atlanta, there was no music industry in Atlanta. See, again, I'm gonna date myself. This was when L.A. Reid and Babyface Edmonds, right? This is when they were in the group The Deal, running around singing, on tour, singing, what was that amazing song? Everybody knows it. I know if I sung it, y'all know it. Y'all remember that song, "I Only Think of You on 2 Occasions"? Come on, say it. What's that? Come on, I hear you, I hear you. Yeah, that song. See, they were running around touring, singing that song, and 2 of the most prolific producers out of Atlanta is Dallas Austin and Jermaine Dupri. They were in middle school. So when I was talking about I'm gonna live in Atlanta and I'm gonna work in the music industry, I literally sounded crazy. I sounded like I was gonna build hotels on Mars. And on top of that, my family, I'm from a small town in Kentucky. So no one knew anything about the music industry other than it was in Los Angeles, and it was in New York. All we knew about the music industry was Soul Train. But this was my dream. This was my dream. I'm going to live in Atlanta, and I'm going to work in the music industry. When did your love affair with music begin? And so after I graduated from high school, I went to college at the University of Louisville. And when I got to the University of Louisville, I had this professor that said to me in a class, if you know what you love to do, or if you know what industry you want to work in, or if you know what profession that you want to pursue, research it. Find those executives and literally ask them to do a 15-minute informational interview with you. So bet, oh my God, I'm ready. I began to put my list of executives together, and I literally started the process of calling 20 to 25 record executives every week. Now, and again, I'm gonna date myself. This was before cell phones. This was before the computer. I know I look young, but I'm grown, right? This was before all of those amazing technological advances. So for me, I had to type 20 to 25 cover letters and resumes every week. And I had to go to the end of the hall in my dorm for that phone, that one phone that was on the wall at the end of the hallway. I had to go and make long distance phone calls from that one phone. 20 to 25 resumes and cover letters every week, go to the phone and make 20 to 25 calls every week to key entertainment executives because I wanted my 15-minute informational interview. No one ever took my call, but that's for a whole nother conversation. When did your love affair with music begin? And then I graduated from college, and I'm ready now. I'm ready to pursue this dream of working in the music industry. And so I literally, and my dad really didn't understand it, but I turned down significant jobs when I graduated from college because I had this dream, this passion, this thing called music that would not let me go. And so I went to an expo, resumes in hand, let's go. I'm gonna find me a job in the music industry. And so I'm walking around this expo and I meet a gentleman. And he actually works at a music distribution company in Cleveland. And he says to me, if you can get a job in Cleveland, you can intern with me. Because the truth of the matter is, he couldn't afford me from a work standpoint, but he definitely told me I could intern. So here I am, I'm passionate, I just graduated from college, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna find me a job in the music industry. I've got this internship opportunity. So I'm working this expo floor, and I literally did just that. I secured a job in Cleveland. It wasn't for a record label, but it allowed me to get to Cleveland because that's where the gentleman worked who worked for the music distribution company, who said, get a job in Cleveland, you can intern with me. Check, did that. When did your love affair with music begin? So now I'm in Cleveland. I have this job. I'm excited. I'm going to get this internship. But the job that moved me to Cleveland, I had to work 60 to 80 hours a week. I never got to intern with him. But because of all of those phone calls that I made in college, I researched executives, and there was one executive that I absolutely followed everything she did, and that was Sylvia Rome. And when I was in college, I first saw this article about Sylvia, and it said she started as a receptionist at Buddha Records. And eventually, when I was reading this article, she was the president of Atlantic Records. And so when I was in Cleveland, the company that moved me up there, I had this amazing opportunity to do different events all over the city. And so there was this one event, and Gerald Levert was there. Now, I knew everything about Sylvia Rome because I've been researching her and calling her basically for 4.5, 5 years at this point. So the moment I saw Gerald, I ran straight to him. Oh my God, okay, you've got to introduce me to Sylvia Rome. And he looked at me and was like, and who are you? And I was like, I'm Sherry Riley, and you have to introduce me to Sylvia Rome. I know that with Levert, she was so instrumental in building your career. And now that she's the president of East West Records, her own label, she just gave you a solo deal. So I need you to introduce me to her. I've been researching her for 4.5 years. I need you to introduce me to her. And he looked at me like, okay, well, what do you do? And I said, I do marketing. I do marketing. And he was like, oh, well, I'm looking for marketing executives at my company. And this was the first time, guys, that it actually registered to me. You know you're talking to Gerald Levert right now, right? It hadn't even registered because I was so focused on Sylvia Rome. And so literally in that moment, we talked about me as a marketing executive, and he said, send me your resume. Now, again, I had just graduated from college. I'm as green as the day is long. I didn't realize that he was about to leave to go on a promotional tour. So again, this was before cell phones. So when he left to go on this promo tour, he was gone. He was gone. But he did tell me, go ahead and just talk to my cousin, who's the president of my company. So literally for the next 9 months, once a month is how it started. I'd go to his office and meet with the president of the company. And then the 1 month, one time a month, ended up being 2 times a month. And after about 4 or 5 months, it ended up being about 3 times a month that I would go because I wanted this job. I wanted to work in the entertainment industry. And then it ended up about 9 months later that I literally was going to that office so much, sharing my marketing strategies. Here's another idea. Did you guys think about this? What can I do to help your artists? That finally the president of the company said, oh my God, you're always here. If you can find you a desk, you can stay and you can work part-time. Yeah, okay. My first shot in the entertainment industry. I started working at Gerald Levert's management company doing marketing part-time. When did your love affair with music begin? I got my first shot. And because it was part-time, I still needed more money to survive. So I ended up going to the record store. Now, for all my millennials, the record store is where we used to buy music. Okay. So I ended up getting a job part-time at the record store. And as I was sitting there dusting the CDs and putting the CDs on the shelf, I would literally dream about the day that an artist would say thank you to me in the credits. When did your love affair with music begin? And I worked with Gerald Levert's company for several years. And then I got that call. I got that call from LaFace Records. I got that call that said, we are looking for a marketing executive, and your name has been the one that continues to come up. And yes, that dream that I had when I was 14, 15 years old became a reality. I ended up as the head of marketing at LaFace Records, working with some of the most phenomenal artists, phenomenal, groundbreaking artists. I was doing the marketing for Toni Braxton, TLC, Usher, Outkast, Donnell Jones. I am literally living my dream, my dream. When did your love affair with music begin? And so here I am, literally in my mid-20s, making 6 figures, unlimited expense account, working with people that I love and admire, that I'm still colleagues and friends with to this day, working with artists that have transcended and become global icons. I loved what I was doing. I loved who I was working with. I'm literally sitting at the feet every day, learning from Antonio L.A. Reid, Kenny Babyface Edmonds, some of the biggest music producers in the world. This was my dream. And I literally crashed and burned. I crashed and burned. And with respect to time, I won't go into details, but out of that is where I ended up realizing the power of exponential living. And what I was doing at that time is I was spending 100% of my time on 10% of who I was. I was living in the dream of what I loved, but I literally crashed and burned. But here's the truth. Even in me crashing and burning, my love affair with music never wavered. It never wavered. And here's the thing about long-term relationships. You always grow and learn and get some valuable lessons out of that journey. And with this long-term love affair that I've had with music, it's given me some very powerful lessons. When did your love affair with music begin? One of the powerful lessons that I got from this love affair of music is that music is the fire that ignites our dreams. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many accolades you've received. I don't care how much you've achieved. Never stop dreaming. When I walked the halls of the National Museum of African American Music, when I stand on this stage in the Roots Theater, this was a dream. When I look at the amazing artists in that museum, oh my God, dreams. I saw Lionel Richie on the wall. One of my favorite songs of all time is when he was with the Commodores and he sung the song Zoom, right? I may be just a foolish dreamer, but I don't care. Because I know my happiness is waiting for me somewhere out there. I'm looking for that silver lining, horizons like I've never seen. Oh, I just want to take a moment and dream my dream. Oh yeah, to dream my dream. When did your love affair with music begin? Another valuable lesson that I've gained from this long-term relationship with music is that music is the fire that ignites us to overcome obstacles. I love when Yolanda Adams sings, "The battle is not yours." And whenever I hear that song, it takes me back to this story that I heard. And it's about this farmer. And this farmer had this very valuable cow. As you know, with farmers, their assets, their value is their livestock. And he had this very valuable cow that was just truly wealth for him. And so one day, the cow wandered off and he fell into a hole. He fell into a well. And the farmer did everything he could to get his prized possession, this cow, out of this well. And literally after effort and idea and strategy, everything he was trying to do, he finally thought, wait a minute, let me try something else. And so the farmer, he went and got his shovel and he literally got the dirt and he poured it over the cow. And the cow stood there and he shook the dirt off and he took a step. And the farmer got his shovel, threw some more dirt in, and the cow shook the dirt off and he took another step. I'm thinking at this point, the cow was probably thinking about Mariah Carey's "I'm Gonna Shake It Off." Okay, that was me, my love affair with music. Okay, that was for me. So this farmer grabbed his shovel, threw his dirt in, the cow shook it off, and he took another step. And y'all know what eventually happened, right? You know what eventually happened? What? I see head shaking. You know what eventually happened? He was able to walk right out of that well. See, here's the reality about how we overcome obstacles. That cow could have easily thought, oh my God, the dirt that's coming on me is to bury me. But instead, his perspective was, the dirt is coming on me. This trial, this tribulation is hitting me so that I can learn how to get stronger, how I can learn how to use this trial and tribulation to walk myself out of this struggle. How are you looking at the trials and tribulations in your life? Are you allowing them to bury you? Are you understanding that they were meant to give you the platform to elevate? Oh, Yolanda, the battle is not yours. When did your love affair with music begin? Another valuable lesson that I've learned is that music is the fire that ignites us to be champions. So I remember growing up as a little girl, and I would be in the kitchen, right? Be in that kitchen and hear my aunts, they cooking and talking. They cooking and singing. They're cooking, and literally, I remember hearing my aunt sing to Karen White, "I'm not your superwoman." Y'all remember that hit? Oh, yeah. And I would hear my aunts, they'd sing, "I am not your superwoman." And they'd talk about, "I am not your superwoman." And I remember as a young girl going, you know what? I'm not your superwoman. And I owned that. I'm not your superwoman. And as I became a grown woman, I owned that. Come on, Karen White, sing it again. I'm not your superwoman. And I got to be honest, though. Honestly, about probably 2 weeks ago, I had to come to a realization about that whole mindset of I'm not your superwoman. Because the reality is I am a superwoman, and I love it. I had to accept I am a superwoman, and I own it. I am a superwoman. I love being a wife, a mother, a daughter. I love being an entrepreneur. I love being an empowerment speaker, high performance life coach, an author. I love serving on the GPA board at my daughter's school. I love being on the board of an alumni association at the University of Louisville, my alma mater. I love serving on a national committee for my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I love being a superwoman. But here's what I had to come to the realization of. It's not the superwoman title that I needed to get beyond. What I had to understand is the value in my cape. I had to understand the multi-purpose value of my cape. See, my cape as a superwoman is where my power comes. The cape is what gives me the strength to fly over every obstacle and deal with every challenge. The cape is what gives me the strength to serve and be in excellence in everything I do. But that cape, that multi-purpose cape, is also the thing that sometimes I need to take it off, wrap it around me, and take a nap. I need to understand the power of my cape allows me to rest, restore, and rejuvenate. It gives me the blanket I need to recover sometimes. I had to understand the multi-purpose value of my cape to understand that sometimes, not sometimes, last night, when disappointment and struggle and things that are going on in my life get me so in a place that I need to release through tears, that multi-purpose cape is what I need to wipe those tears away. That multi-purpose cape is what I can use with my other women in harmony when they need somebody to wipe their tears. Multi-purpose cape. I had to understand that sometimes that multi-purpose cape is what I need to wrap the crown around my head as a queen and own the champion and the queen that I am. That's why when I hear Alicia Keys sing, "This girl is on fire," because I know my multi-purpose cape is the crown that I walk in the authority that I am as a woman in harmony. When did your love affair with music begin? And one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned from this love affair with music is that music ignites the fire for women in harmony to fully understand that peace is our power. Peace is the new success. When did your love affair with music begin? When I think about it, my love affair with music has always been there. I don't know a time in my life that I haven't had a love affair with music, as far back as I can remember. And it continues until this day. It's in me, like when Anita Baker sings, "You Bring Me Joy." It's in me when Whitney Houston belts out the most powerful words that we can all truly believe, and that is the greatest love of all is inside of me. Man, when did your love affair with music begin? Women in harmony, in order for us to truly be the muse that we know we are, in order for us to own the muse that we are, we have to understand that there's a power in us and it continues to grow in us. We have to understand those powerful words that Mariah Carey sings when she says, "We are the heroes that we're looking for." Thank you guys very much. Thank you.